going to be a real quick video talking about the performance of the Galaxy Note 7. So I've been seeing a lot of videos out there to talk about the performance, and it was kind of funny actually because I started putting one together last night, and then all of a sudden all these performance videos popped up. So I guess it's about that time in the launch cycle where everybody starts actually testing how fast this device is, right? So I did some benchmarks on it, and sure enough, and I used Geekbench as one of my benchmarks. Sure enough, it blew everything away. I mean, it was actually on par with the performance of my iPad Pro, 12-inch iPad Pro. That was phenomenal to me. It's the numbers almost doubled what the Galaxy Note 5 was. And then I see these other videos which talk about, oh, that's not real world performance. This is real world performance, and they put like an iPhone next to a Galaxy Note, and they start cycling through different applications, and I'll put a little clip of one up here. And sure enough, the iPhone blew things away. And yeah, maybe that is a real world scenario, but to me, I don't sit there and open apps sequentially, right? So to me, that's not really much better than a benchmark. And even worse, I saw another YouTube video where the gentleman came up and basically says, oh, I'm glad I didn't get that device because it's got horrible performance, and I'm very happy with my, name the device here. And 2 videos prior, he basically reviewed the device, having said he never saw it, and going down a list of specs and saying what he likes and he didn't like. So we've got 3 schools here. We've got those that rely completely on the benchmarks, and they're going to say it's really fast. You got those that rely on let's launch apps in sequence, and they're going to say it's really slow. And we've got the folks that haven't even seen it yet are going to sit here and give you an opinion. Okay, so I'm not going to do any of that. All I'm going to do is leverage this argument here that basically real world is what you're going to do with it. Okay, let me grab my device. So yes, an iPhone, when you're trying to launch apps sequentially, will probably be faster. There's a number of reasons that I can speculate with that. One, apps on iOS are native. They're closer to the actual operating system, okay? They're compiled to work on the operating system. On Android, it's Java. There's some compilation, but it's basically a just-in-time compilation, right? So in addition, iOS is a simpler operating system that doesn't run a lot of things in the background. Android, by contrast, is much more like a microcomputer operating system. It's got a lot of tasks running. So even if your benchmarks on this device are higher than what you might see on an iOS device, it has more work to do. That's not surprising. There's a lot of reasons people like that about an Android, but that comes at a price, right? In addition, the Galaxy Note 7 has a phenomenal screen. It's got a much higher resolution than a lot of other screens that are out there. It's also got, that TouchWiz interface, which is much more streamlined, but it's still another layer on top of the Android user interface. Beyond that, it's also got this stylus, okay? This got some overhead as well. Maybe it's not affecting your launch, but it's built in there and it's part of the OS. So what I would just propose is that you pick a device based on what you want. I will show you, I have a benchmark of the Galaxy Note 7 compared with its predecessor of the Note 5. The benchmarks double. That's more of an apples to apples comparison. So this should run faster than the previous iteration of the OS. So essentially pick up the device and find out if it does what you need it to do and if this performance is acceptable. To me, this device is plenty fast. I've had no complaints about the performance of it at all for the way I use the device. Perhaps you may use it a little bit differently, and maybe another device is more appropriate. I bought it because I love the screen, I love the look and feel of it, I love the camera, and I love the S Pen. If it has acceptable performance to me for the next year or two, I'm perfectly okay with that. So with that said, I'm going to show you a couple of the performance numbers that are on here, and I'm just going to cut this video short. I kind of said what I wanted to say, and at the end, I will leave you with a sneezing panda. If you like my video, please click like. Thank you. So what we're looking at here is the Geekbench difference between the Galaxy Note 7 and the Galaxy Note 5. And as you can see, there's a tremendous improvement even just based on one iteration of the product. So Samsung's been doing some work here. And this is really more of an apples to apples, or if you will, Androids to Androids comparison. But trying to predict the utility of a device based on benchmarks, based on marathon application launching sessions, or just based on pure guesses and opinions formed from looking at other people's benchmarks really doesn't do a device justice. It's kind of like racing a Toyota Camry against a Hyundai Sonata, having the Camry win and then making the determination that the Sonata is not an appropriate vehicle to drive to your office during your daily commute. I mean, there's so many other factors you got to look at, and that's the point I'm trying to get to here. Again, this is Mike. Have a good day. And here's that panda I promised you.